Hi ladies, we're going to get started with our next craft, and this is going to be for you each to make a swap as a remembrance of our camporee. So for those of you that might not know, a swap stands for small, whatchamacallit, affectionately pinned somewhere, and Girl Scouts trade swaps at camp all the time. But since we can't be together, we'd like for you to each make a swap that you'll keep as a memory. So we're going to make a caterpillar swap, and I'm going to take you through the steps. To make this swap, you will need some glue. You can use school glue, Elmer's glue, or you could use tacky glue. I would not recommend you use a hot glue gun for this craft because you might hurt yourself because you have to really hold the pieces together. So I would stick with a white school glue or tacky glue, something that will dry clear. In your kit that we gave you, you'll have a piece of pipe cleaner. You'll have 3 little puff balls. One is on the run. 3 little puff balls. A safety pin so that you can pin it someplace, to a jacket, maybe to a hat. Some people collect their swaps on a little container or on a little poster board or a banner. And then 2 eyeballs so that your buddy has some eyes. And then you might want to have a pair of scissors hanging around just in case you need to trim something, okay? Okay, the first step is to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to twist it into a curly Q that looks like this, okay? Now remember I said that you might need to trim it a little bit? That's why we want to have the scissors. I made it big M. It's a little bit larger than this this tighter one that I made earlier, just to show you how you're going to trim it up, okay? So then you're going to decide which of your pom-poms is going to be the head of your caterpillar. I'm going to use the off color. So you see that you have 2 that are the same color and 1 that's a different color. I'm going to use them in this order so that the white pom-pom is the head. But before you start to stringing or to attaching the pom-poms, you're going to take your safety pin, okay? And you are just going to put this through the bottom hole of the safety pin and run it so that it's in the middle, okay? And that's going to hold the body of your caterpillar onto the pin. Next, I'm going to take the head of the caterpillar, the white pom-pom, and I'm going to glue it into the little nook that I made by looping my pipe cleaner. And I'm just going to shove that ball in there, and I'm going to hold it for a second to give it a time to kind of set. Okay. While I'm doing that, I'm going to twist the pipe cleaner around as if I'm just holding it in place with the pipe cleaner, okay? And then I'm going to repeat the step with the next pom-pom. Okay. So it looks a little curly Q right now, but we're going to fix it and straighten it up a little bit. We're also going to go ahead and glue that last pom-pom in there. And as you can see, I have a little bit of extra here that I don't need. So I'm just going to trim that part off. Sorry, my angle is bad for that. Okay. So now I've got my 3 pom-poms in there. Okay. And remember I said you might get a little bit of glue on your hands. I have a lot of glue on my hands. This is why, again, we want to use something like the Elmer's glue or the school glue, not a hot glue gun, because you don't want to hurt yourself. All right, now I'm going to check to make sure my pom-poms are in there securely, and I feel like they're not. I feel like the one on the bottom needs a little bit, put that better on the camera, a little bit of glue down in here. So I'm just gonna kind of wiggle that in there. Put a little more glue. I want a little bit more between the middle guy there. And remember, the school glue is gonna dry clear, so it doesn't matter if it shows. It's not gonna look tacky because it's not going to show at the end. All right, but the idea is that you've got this little guy rolling together here like a caterpillar would. And then again, like I said, I used the off color as the head of my caterpillar. You could do it differently if you want. You also could trim. I have this front piece. I don't know if you can see that, but the front piece of it is a little bit long. You could trim it if you don't want it to go all the way around. So you could trim it so that the front one is the same as the back. It's up to you. And then what you're gonna do is on the front, you're gonna put your eyeballs. Okay. All right, so now he's got his eyes on there. He's looking cute. Again, this is gonna dry, but you wanna keep it someplace safe to dry. I would put it on maybe some wax paper or something like that, so that if it does stick, you can kind of peel it off gently. And after he's dry, just give him a check to make sure that all the pom-poms are in there securely, and then he's ready to be hung on your jacket or on your hat or wherever you wanna put him. And he's a nice little memory of our camporee. I hope you enjoyed this craft.